What's up guys, it's your boy Mr. K back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. Today we'll be reviewing the Panasonic LUMIX dmc-fz200 review in 2021. By the end of this video I'll tell you, is it really worth it to buy it or should you just save your money? Also, I'd just like to say please consider subscribing if you would like to see more tech content, and it helps me motivation. But now let's get into the price of this device. You can generally buy this for about £160 to £200, but it usually stays on the lower end of the price listings. The specs of this device: this has 2 hours and 40 minutes of battery life, so that's how long it can take with constant shooting, and it charges pretty fast for about an hour and a bit, and there is no way to fast charge. Max focus distance is 600mm, so that is pretty decent without an actual external lens that you've added to it, so that is pretty good. It has 5-axis correction, so this is where you're taking a picture one-handed and it's slightly heavy, and you take a picture and it's slanted, it will correct it automatically in the actual device. So it's just a cool feature that you can just turn on by the simple flick of a button. And it also helps with recording, so let's say you're recording, moving about, trying to record a day at the beach for example, and you seem to be moving around more than you remembered, it can fix that slightly, so it's just a much better experience. It has the potential to record 4K videos if you have the right settings on. If you have the right lens, it can perform to that amount of quality. Furthermore, there's actually a Panasonic app where you can view your photos on your phone of what they will actually look like if you were to print them out, let's say, or actually use them. Because when you actually look on the screen straight after you take a picture, it doesn't show the full potential of all the color vibrancy, all the depth of the image. Also, you can connect it with a HDMI cord, plug it in there, plug it to the TV, so you can get your images straight from your camera to your TV, but it does require a certain type of HDMI cable. Also, it has a wide angle lens, so this, let's say you're focusing on one image, you'll probably get the background as well. So let's say you're the type of photographer that doesn't only focus on one thing but the bigger picture, this will be perfect for you because there's a 25mm wide angle lens. High zoom is 600mm. But now let's go into pros, cons, and then my overall conclusion. But yeah, let's go. The first positive is the fact that it has intelligent auto mode. This does it all for you: face detection, blur reduction, shadow brightening, and smart sharpening. So this is where it just makes your image look much cleaner and more precise than let's say a semi-blurry image. And it's also just very easy to turn on. With the flick of a switch, it's on, and as easily as you turn it on, you can just turn it off with a simple flick of a button. Most cameras around this price range, you have to fiddle with settings, go into settings. Panasonic really made it very easy for the consumer to understand. The next positive is the fact there is support for external flash, external microphones, conversion lenses and different filters, and a remote shutter release cable. And you can do all of this by connecting it just like a simple puzzle. It's not very difficult to do. And even if you don't understand how to do it, with simple instructions that come in the box of your microphone. Furthermore, talking about how easy it is to set up and use, after a full week of consistent use, you will be able to know the ropes of this. You may still learn 1 or 2 things every so often, but the base camera, if you continuously use it day by day, you get to know it, and it's not a high learning curve. It's just by use you start to learn bit by bit, but by the end of the week you'll know most of the camera, most of the features with this. But sometimes you'll be surprised and find a new feature that you can use in future photos. Moving away from how easy it is to use and talking more about the camera now, it has the ability to do a super fast burst mode. So let's say you're a photographer of wildlife where everything is fast paced, burst mode would be your best bet. So let's say you're taking a picture of a bird, you take it, it can take as many photos as you want at 5.5 FPS while continuously autofocusing. So this is amazing for if you want a focused image of a moving object. So let's say there's some amazing photos out there of moving butterflies where their wings are flapping. This is most likely the best way they got it, because it's really unlikely that you took a photo just with one button just like this instead of taking a bunch of them and just getting lucky. But now it's time for the negatives. Stuff I didn't like about the Panasonic LUMIX. The first negative is the fact that you're stuck with one lens. There's no way to add external lenses on here. So let's say you wanted a wide angle lens or something even wider than the one that came with it. There's no way to add on this, so it will be inconvenient for people that want to get the perfect shots. Furthermore, the camera doesn't really have any cool features. It's a pretty basic baseline camera. It doesn't have anything special to differentiate it from all other cameras around the same price range. But that's not to say it's a terrible camera, but that's to say it's a more average camera than a camera that will be able to focus much more or zoom in much more to get intricate details that you won't be able to get on this. Next negative is the fact that the SD card is in a very inconvenient place. I tried to use the tripod and it's in the way. I tried to use a case that screws on the actual camera to keep it built in and more together, and it's just in the way of the SD card. So the SD card takes up a little bit too much space. They should have made it just a slide at the top of the button just through here or something along those lines to make it easier to access when using a tripod or case. The next negative is the fact that it's a little too heavy to be a one-handed camera. As you can see, after a while of just holding it like this, I understand that your hand will start to dip because it's a little bit heavier than your average camera. So if you're planning to buy this camera for vlogging or just constantly recording loads of images or something like this, your best bet is to buy a less weighted camera than this one. And pretty much the final negative is that the camera lens is actually very sensitive, and it'll be best not to touch it because it can easily scratch like all camera lenses, but this is just a little more sensitive than most. But now it's conclusion time. In conclusion, this is a great camera for beginners, people that want to start taking professional cameras but they don't want to go to the moon with the price of this device. Usually most professional cameras are around £500. So this is a pretty decent camera. It does the job. It's a little bit basic, but once you learn the ropes of it, you see you can really get the best potential out of it once you know how to fully work this. But overall, I would recommend this camera. It's a great camera. It can shoot great photos. It's just a little bit of an effort to continuously use it day by day until you finally get those beautiful pictures that you know you can actually get with this camera. But nevertheless, it's been your boy Mr. K. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. It really supports the channel. And yeah, we're nearly at 130 subs. Support the channel. Yeah, bye.